I have the Snapdragon-powered Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra with me here today, and we're going to be putting it up against 4 other Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 run smartphones, as well.
सर्व चला गया रॉबे बनने तो नहीं मिली रे चल गया पूरा लाइव चल
For this afternoon. The Redmi Note and in fact the Redmi Note Pro series in many ways set the trend and the pace for a whole bunch of smartphone launches that eventually follow. Today, we have 3 different products to talk about, and as you're posting on social media, please feel free to use these 3 hashtags. Hashtag best gets better, hashtag Redmi Note 11 Pro makes Redmi such a loved brand. Now, Redmi was born out of a core desire to democratize technology and make quality technology and innovation accessible to millions. And we do that by staying true to 3 key product pillars that permeates every single range of the best of specs, the highest quality, and honest pricing. Mind you, I said honest pricing, and I didn't use euphemisms such as economy pricing or value pricing. We call it honest production and manufacturing, distribution, sales, marketing. We look at every step of the value chain and work hard to strive cost efficiencies there, and we pass all of that benefit on to our consumers, thereby delivering honest pricing. And if there's one product series that truly brings, let that sink in, 24 crore Redmi Note devices sold across the entire world since its inception, truly an institution in more ways than one. And the reason why the Redmi Note series is so loved is that it brings flagship technology and makes that affordable in the mid-range segment. And we've proven that time and again. Take, for example, the Redmi Note 7 Pro and the Redmi Note 8 Pro, which for the first time bought a 48-megapixel camera sensor with the Redmi Note 7 Pro, which is why with every Redmi Note series, we ensure that there is always up-to-date software available, be it the latest version of MIUI, be it the latest Android version, or be it the latest with the launch of the Redmi Note 10 Pro series, which brought features that were previously available only in the flagship segment. To call out a few, the Redmi Note 10 Pro series boasted of a 120 Hz Super AMOLED display, a 108 megapixel quad camera array powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 732, and the list keeps going on and on and on and on. And this device was loved by many of the members of the media and was well awarded and recognized. For example, it was recognized as the best smartphone of 2021 by Mr. Who's the Boss, and also got the best smartphone under 20K award as part of the Indian Gadget Awards 2021. And there were lots more kudos that the specific device received over the course of the last 1 year. And it's not just at the time of launch, but even today. It is loved by media. Even today, I will refer to some quotes as recent as last month, February of 2021. And to call out a few, Tracked Out In recognizes the fact that the Super AMOLED display being brought in the less than 25,000 segment has truly revolutionized this segment, as well as Money Control calls it out as a phone that truly sets the standard for a performance-focused smartphone in the mid-range segment. All of this put together, of course, make the Redmi Note 10 Pro series the best smartphone until now. Because today, we are endeavoring to make the best even better. And how does that work? We're making the best even better with pro-grade charging, pro-grade design, pro-grade display, pro-grade camera, pro-grade technology. And let's just say pro-grade everything. Because today, we have the privilege of, let's start, interestingly, with one aspect of the phone that lies deep under the hood, but makes a huge difference to the overall experience with the smartphone: pro-grade charging. Now let's take a step back and look at the various devices in the market from competition brands and how they stack up when it comes to charging technology. Of course, you have phones with maybe 15-watt charging, if you really push the boundaries, 20, and if you were to take a bold leap backwards, you'll actually have a 30-watt fast charger in your device. But with the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, we said we need to take the charging technology to the big boys table. The Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G comes with 67-watt turbocharger. And this is combined with a massive 5,000 mAh 2-day battery. And when you look at this combination of 67-watt fast turbocharging and a 5,000 mAh 2-day battery, what you essentially get is, hold your breath, an entire day's charge in just 15 minutes. Thank you. Imagine what 15 minutes means in your life. It's probably a shower, a quick breakfast, maybe the amount of time it takes for you to wait in a coffee shop to get your coffee. It is that quick, an entire day's charge in just 15 minutes. So we went to the next step and said, all right, this is great, but how does it benchmark with other competition devices in the same segment? The jury is clear. The 67-watt turbocharge in the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G delivers double the battery life in just 15 minutes, because the best that competition can get to is about 36% of charge in that duration. And we said, why stop with phones only in the same segment? Let's take the game up higher, and we also benchmarked with flagship devices. The jury is once again clear. The 67-watt turbocharge in the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G once again delivers twice the charge even as compared to flagship devices, some of which cost 1 lakh rupees. It delivers twice the charge in just 15 minutes, and this is very clearly a game changer, another example of how we have made the best even better. But let's double click and try and understand how does this 67-watt turbocharge actually work. Traditionally, in battery charging, you have like a linear charge where the charge starts at one end of the battery and goes all the way up to the other. But in the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, we have introduced dual split fast charge. Essentially what happens there is that you start charging from the middle and it goes way up to both the sides, which means the entire charging is a lot more faster and a lot more efficient, giving you that quick one-day charge in just 15 minutes. And if you thought that was all, I have one more thing to share with you this afternoon. With the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, you get the 67-watt turbocharger worth 1,999 rupees in the box. And this is an era where many competition devices are actually downgrading to 20 and 30-watt charger. And in fact, you also have examples of brands removing the charger from the device. No, we want to provide that complete, uncompromised experience, which is why you have the 67-watt turbocharger in the box. And that's still not all. This 67-watt turbocharger is that one charger to fuel them all, whether it's your smartphone, your earbuds, your tablet, even your laptop. So the next time you're traveling, all you need is this one 67-watt turbocharger, and it can power up all of your devices, of course, assuming your device supports USB-C, which is super, super cool. To sum up, the pro-grade charging on the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, a 5,000 mAh 2-day battery, 67-watt turbocharge, fueling up that device for an entire day's charge in just 15 minutes, thanks to the dual split fast charge technology. Moving on. With the Redmi Note 10 Pro series and the premium Evolve design that it had, we truly set the standard. It was very, very well appreciated for the premium chic feel that that device gave. And when you were set up with the challenge of making the best even better, it's not going to be an easy task. So we set out and came out with a whole new design language for the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, which we affectionately call the Evolve Pro design. And let's take a look at that. Talking about the Evolve Pro design, our focus was in providing an updated and an upgraded design experience, paying attention to those tiny details which make such a massive difference to the overall aesthetics of the phone, and of course, put it into a package which holds the Redmi promise of a device that is truly built to last. First, the flat frame and rear. This is the first thing that appeals to you when you look at that device. Here, we have taken a very contemporary take in providing like a premium design with flat edges, which makes for great hand feel, and also the flat back, which has smooth, flawless finish, which makes this device look a lot more premium than it actually is priced at. Second is the tiny attention to detail. You can notice those gorgeous chamfered edges which give it that chic look, as well as that beautifully designed, elegant camera island, the shape of which actually is an inspiration from the overall flat back of this design. And of course, this is a Redmi Note. It is built to last, and it comes with Corning's Gorilla Glass 5 right up in the front. It is available in 3 stunning, gorgeous colors: the classy stealth black and the chic phantom white. And if you'd notice, both the stealth black and the phantom white have a frosted glass back, which ensures that you don't have any problems with fingerprints and smudges and so on, while still delivering a fantastic premium look to this device. The third showcase color for the afternoon for the Redmi Note 11 Pro plus 5G is actually a nod and a dedication to the resounding success that we saw with the Redmi K20 Pro series. All of you would remember the Aura Prime design and the gorgeous fire and ice effect that it delivered. We took inspiration from that and used a 5-layer process technology to deliver the Mirage Blue showcase color of the Redmi Note 11 Pro plus 5G. And you should see it to believe it. Thanks to the 5-layered process technology, you'll actually have light dynamically dancing and giving you gorgeous effects that perhaps one might never have seen before. This is a phone that looks so beautiful. Summing up, the pro-grade design in the Redmi Note 11 Pro plus 5G, following the Evolve Pro design language, with a premium contemporary chic look with flat edges and a flat rear, an aesthetically designed camera island, a super fast fingerprint sensor on the side for quickly unlocking your phone, extremely lightweight and slim in design, and available in 3 truly stunning colors. Now that was the design, but no phone is complete without a stunning, gorgeous display. So let's move on to the next section, which is the pro-grade display of the Redmi Note 11 Pro plus 5G. Now, when we launched the Redmi Note 10 Pro series last year, one of the things that was most loved by consumers across was the fact that it boasted of a Super AMOLED display with a 120 Hz refresh rate. And given all the positive feedback and kudos that we received for the display, we said, obviously, the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus also deserves a Super AMOLED experience. And this Super AMOLED display on the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G comes with an amazing 1200 nits of peak brightness. Now, of course, you'll realize that anything above 1000 nits is truly flagship grade. Since we said, hey, we need to make the best even better, we have 1200 nits of peak brightness on the Redmi Note 11 Pro plus 5G. And the advantage of such a high 1200 nits peak brightness level is the fact that your screen looks absolutely clean and the text is clear, even under the harshest of lighting conditions, even if that's outdoor. And more importantly, when you're viewing content, when you're watching content, it's not only the brightness, but the high contrast between the blacks and whites, which makes for a truly immersive visual experience when you're watching movies. In fact, if you were to take a movie like Interstellar, it'll probably look stellar on the Redmi Note 11 Pro plus 5G's display. Of course, a lot of you know that an AMOLED display, a Super AMOLED display, is indeed better than an LCD display? Well, of course, LCD displays are good. However, they do have their challenges and constraints in terms of a lower contrast ratio, lower peak brightness levels, and are often more power hungry. Not just that, in the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, we have added pro-grade fluidity with 120 Hertz refresh rate. And what that means is you have twice as many frames per second as compared to a 60 Hertz refresh rate, which obviously results in extremely smooth scrolling and seamless gaming, and which is a true delight for your eyes. And for all you gamers out there, it also boasts of a 360 Hertz touch sampling rate for quick and responsive gaming, so that you can go for that kill exactly at the very moment that you want it. All of this, no doubt, when put together, makes this the best display experience thanks to the Super AMOLED display and the 120 Hertz screen cased in a 6.67 inch, a 16.94 centimeter immersive viewing experience. It not just provides for a rich and vibrant visual experience, but is also easy on the eye, thanks to the SGS Eye Care certification, reading mode 3.2, sunlight display, anything that can make it truly valuable for you. We have packed that into the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus's Super AMOLED display. But the visual experience is often incomplete without a great audio experience. So to ensure that you have absolutely the right audio-visual multimedia experience, the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G also comes with dual stereo speakers, so that when you're watching movies, you're right in there in the midst of that action. Summing up, the pro-grade display is Gorilla Glass 5 in the front, pretty much everything that you would want to have an immersive visual experience. The Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus's 5G display offers it, because the Redmi Note series is so loved. We need to ensure that we pack nothing but the best in this device. And when it comes to packing nothing but the best in any device, the other consideration most people have when they're considering any phone are the camera capabilities of that phone. And we are pulling off an interesting surprise for you this afternoon to talk about the camera section and capabilities of the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. I'd like to call upon stage Manu Kumar Jain.
Thank you, Murli. I guess if I had $1 for every time someone mistook me for Manu, I would probably be as rich as Manu himself. I'm Sandeep, Senior Marketing Manager here at Xiaomi India, and it feels really, really great to be here at the launch of the iconic Redmi Note series. And it feels even better to see so many familiar faces in person after so long. I'm here to talk about the camera setup on our brand new Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G device. And I'd like to say that this is the best ever camera setup we have had on a Redmi Note series device. And that itself is saying a lot, considering that each and every time we launch a Note series device, we have always made it the benchmark when it comes to the camera setup in that particular segment, and maybe even above. So presenting the 108 megapixel pro-grade camera setup on the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. And this is the largest sensor that you get in this segment, and it's also the highest ever resolution that you get on any smartphone, regardless of what segment you take into consideration. Apart from that, this is also the slimmest sensor with 108 megapixels of resolution, and what that means is you have a very slim camera profile despite having a large sensor. Now, while the sensor is huge, and that means that you capture incredible amount of light and detail, what we've done is taken things to the next level with the help of our image processing and also leveraging the strong camera ISP. Now let us look at the progression of sensors over the years. A few years ago, 12 megapixel was business as usual. Every single smartphone possibly came with it, and even today there are smartphones out there that capture 12 megapixels resolution by default. But what we did with the Redmi Note 7 series is introduce 48 megapixels on a device for the first time, and this came with a large half-inch sensor. Fast forward to the Redmi Note 8 Pro, and we had a larger 64 megapixel, again one of the first, with a 1 by 1.72 inch sensor size, but nothing compares to what we have today, which is a very, very large 1 by 1.56 inch sensor size and 108 megapixels of resolution. So what have we done to actually take things to the next level? How do we exactly ensure that the best does get better? To start things off, we have crispier looking images. And it's not just at the edges. It actually, not just at the center, but actually at the edges and across the frame, which is one particular pain point that you see, especially with the rest of the competition. So how does it stack compared to the competition? So let's first take a look at 108 megapixel sample. Our images retain incredible amounts of detail, and it also allows you to go much closer to your subject or object without actually losing any of the information. So in a sense, you can actually capture an image, crop and reframe as you would like, and still get very usable and very high quality images. Now, even if you were to talk about a pixel bin image and to get a level playing field of 12 megapixels, you still get better dynamic range, very lifelike colors, and overall, if you look at the sharpness and detail being captured here, it is still segment leading. Now, it is one thing to capture great quality photos in daytime, but if you want to do it under artificial lighting conditions, or if you want to do it in low light, it is a totally different ballgame altogether. So that's why we have Night Mode 2.0, where we have ensured the same characteristics that you get during daylight is carried over to the nighttime images, and in particular, artificial light, where you have multiple temperature sources of light, still come out really well thanks to our very clever algorithm and processing with Night Mode 2.0. Now that is the primary pro-grade camera, but what else is there that makes this an entirely pro-grade camera setup? So you have an ultra-wide angle camera with 118-degree field of view. You also have a macro sensor. Now the ultra-wide angle camera has a 118-degree field of view, and we were very specific about that number. The reason for this is we wanted to find the right balance between having a dramatic looking composition and ensuring great area of coverage compared to the primary camera, but at the same time we did not want to have some of the problems that plague other competition devices. For example, distortion at the edges, loss of sharpness, color fringing, and much more. I have a fun activity for you guys. So, can anyone guess what this image is? Okay, mounted. Actually, that's right. So this is a showcase just to demonstrate the low light capabilities of the primary camera on the device. And if you look at the aurora night sky, the northern lights, if you will, this is a phenomenon that occurs in the Arctic Circle especially. And this has beautifully captured the color as well. You can see the snow-capped mountains. You can see how well the image has been rendered without any noise, in fact. However, what I just said is not really true. This is actually a macro of Meringue Pi. It was shot on the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G with the macro camera, and that just shows the level of creativity that you can get with a really capable macro camera such as this. Now, a macro camera doesn't just take close-ups, but it takes close-ups to a whole different level. So instead of focusing, say, 4 centimeter, which most of the competition does, we allow you to focus as close as 2 centimeter, which is much, much closer and 2x of what the competition offers. We also give you the ability to record high-definition videos. And we want to showcase some of his capabilities in this upcoming video. Beautiful, isn't it? Now I'd like to talk about the portrait mode, and especially with respect to the bokeh and edge detection. I think almost any brand can get edge detection right when you have a face like mine. No hair, basically, right? But if you want to do something and take it a step further, you can look at the portion between the model's hand and hair, and you'll see how even the smallest of gaps have been rendered really, really beautifully. Edge detection is on point, and the blurring is perfectly accurate without any distortion, any issues. And the most important aspect is, despite the blurring that's being applied, there is no reduction in sharpness to the overall portion in focus, which is the model herself. We have also worked really hard by optimizing the skin tones, especially for our Indian customers. This involves hundreds and thousands of hours of capturing photos, analyzing them, and tweaking them so that we get the perfect true-to-life photo possible. This also holds true for the in-display 16-megapixel front-facing camera, where you can still get beautiful true-to-life photos and selfie portraits. But that's not all. We also have several creativity features. We have different photo and video modes that you can use to harness your creativity and take it to a next level, as you don't really need to pay attention to how it's being done, but rather focus just on your creativity. You have slow motion, you have dual video, you have pro time lapse, you have macro video, and of course, you have movie frame mode, which is my personal favorite because it gives you that cinematic feel. So to sum up, we have the highest ever resolution on any smartphone till date with the 108 megapixel pro grade camera setup on the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. You have an ultra wide angle camera which is consistent with what you get on the primary camera in terms of that signature look and feel. You have a very capable macro camera which can not just take high definition photos but also great looking videos in high definition. You have night mode 2.0 where you get great performance, be it in artificial lighting condition or low light. You also have excellent video capabilities, and overall this makes it one of the best cameras, not just in the segment, but regardless of the price range. And with that, I'd like to call Murli back on stage to take you through the rest of the product.
Thank you. Thanks, Sandeep. Now, a pro-grade camera, of course, requires a lot of firepower inside to fire up that device. So it's time next to talk about the pro-grade tech powering the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. Now, this is a 5G device, and 5G devices in the mid-ranges are interesting. But before we talk about that, some context on the benefits that 5G brings to the table. Now, some of these are known to many of us. 5G offers substantially faster speeds, which means you could even download Ultra HD content in a matter of a few seconds. It boasts of significantly lower latency, which means faster response times, and therefore enabling much more seamless gaming. It also provides increased concurrency, which is the number of connections that can be live on the network at any point of time. Typically take a crowded situation like a stadium, like a sports stadium, right, where you have tens and thousands of people. You understand situations where 4G LTE networks start failing in such situations. Not so with 5G. It can support significantly higher concurrent connections. And last but not the least, because you get great high speed from your 5G network, you don't have to rely on public Wi-Fi, and hence you can keep your data a lot more private and secure instead of relying on 5G networks. But I started off by saying, in the mid-rangers, having 5G smartphones is an interesting conundrum. And it's an interesting conundrum because all of us understand that 5G chipsets are a little bit more expensive than 4G chipsets. And what that means are that choices are to be made, and in some cases, compromises need to be made. And what kind of compromises are we talking about here? One, we've seen cases where, of course, you have an attractively priced 5G device, but there are compromises in terms of the display, where there is an LCD display instead of a Super AMOLED display. Or take the camera, for example. People today in the mid-range segment desire the highest megapixel resolution, but you have compromises being made there in terms of a lower resolution camera. You have compromises being made in terms of offering slower charging speeds on the battery. And last but not the least, there is a lot of ambiguity on support for 5G bands. As India's largest smartphone brand, we've had the opportunity to collaborate very actively with all of our top mobile service providers. We've had the opportunity to participate in their tests, to participate in their trials, and gain a lot of insight into their thinking on what the potential spectrum bands that 5G eventually could support in India. And of course, there is no certainty right now on what 5G spectrum bands will be supported in India. However, there is a broad emerging consensus view. And when we took that list, which features multiple 5G spectrum bands such as N28, N78, N1, N3, N40, and so on, we said if this is the consensus view, of course there is no certainty, we'll have to wait for the spectrum auctions to be announced to know exactly which are the bands being supported. But considering this is the going-in consensus view, we benchmarked the 5G band support for Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G with some of the other competition devices in the same price segment, and you'll be surprised to see the results. Many of the 5G smartphones being announced in the market today have sparse coverage and support for the most possible 5G spectrum bands in India, whereas you could see the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G supports a majority of the probable bands that can be used for 5G in India. And all of this is thanks to the Snapdragon 695 processor that powers the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, a super efficient 6 nanometer processor delivering high performance thanks to the ARM Cortex A78 cores and providing super fast and super efficient gaming with the Adreno 619 GPU. Now with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 processor, that makes this device the fastest Redmi Note yet. And if you thought that was all, no. The Snapdragon 695 powering the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G punches way above its weight and is actually faster than many of the Qualcomm Snapdragon 700 series processors. Truly pro-grade processor for the pro-grade phone, which is the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. In terms of memory, we of course have pro-grade memory in terms of 8 GB of LPDDR4X RAM, which can be extended by an additional 3 GB thanks to the RAM extension capability. It supports up to 256 GB of UFS 2.2 storage. Thank you. And UFS 2.2 storage, all of you realize, makes for significantly faster app load time, significantly more faster and efficient read-write, which ensures that the entire phone usage experience is smooth and seamless without any chinks. And in terms of the micro SD card, it supports extendable storage up to 1 terabyte. We understand that users will put their Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G through rigorous usage and in order to ensure that whether it's videography or GPS usage or gaming or multitasking, in order to ensure consistent peak performance, the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G has liquid cooling technology which just keeps it chugging along without any issues at all, even under intense usage conditions. Summing up, the pro-grade tech in the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 processor, which offers a complete and comprehensive, uncompromised 5G experience, liquid cooling technology, UFS 2.2 storage up to 256 GB, and also expandable storage up to 1 terabyte, LPDDR4X RAM 8, extendable by an additional 3 GB, courtesy the RAM extension feature. Well, I've spoken about the pro-grade Trek and pro-grade everything. There are a few aspects of any Redmi Note device which people have now come to expect as a standard. Because when you buy a Redmi Note, you actually buy a complete noteworthy experience. And of course, the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G continues a lot of the standard Note goodness that you'd expect in terms of a Z-axis linear haptic motor for enhanced haptic feedback, dual stereo speakers, an IR blaster with which you can use your phone as a remote control to control your television and various appliances at your home. And of course, is splash-proof tested, IP53 tested, and it does have a 3.5 mm audio jack. Summing up, in all its glory, where the best was made even better, the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, a true all-rounder, befitting the Redmi Note series, powered by Snapdragon 695 processor, a gorgeous, stunning, eye-catching 120Hz Super AMOLED display, extremely premium and chic Evolve Pro design, and most importantly, a 5000 mAh 2-day battery, powered by the 67-watt turbocharge, which provides a day's worth of charge in just 15 minutes. Let's take a look at a video. Now, right up front, I said we have 3 showcase devices for this afternoon. We've spoken about one, the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. To talk about the next product for the afternoon, I'd like to call on stage the George Clooney of Xiaomi India, Raghu Reddy. Where's Raghu? Raghu?
Hey Raghu, your name's being announced on the stage.
Thank you, Moli. Thank you all for making it to the first live event that we're doing after 2 long years. The energy in the room is something that's, I think, getting us all of us excited. And if you guys thought that there was only one device today, then you're in for another noteworthy surprise. We've got another device that's so good that I couldn't get my hands off it, as you've already seen backstage. Presenting the all-new Redmi Note 11 Pro. With the Redmi Note 11 Pro, we've decided to go all out and take on the current favorite, which is the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. So let's talk about some of the elements of the Redmi Note 11 Pro. Starting with design, we know how loved the Evolve design was on the Redmi Note 10 series. And now we've taken it up a notch and made it a Pro. The Redmi Note 11 Pro comes with the Evolve Pro design. And with Evolve Pro design, we've introduced flat edges and rare, which makes the smartphone look gives it a completely new look and feel, making it more contemporary. So the Redmi Note 11 Pro comes in 3 magnificent colors. The stunning star blue, where we've taken inspiration from the nature. If you look closely, the texture resembles a beautiful glittery sky full of stars. We've also got the chic stealth black and the mesmerizing phantom white. And just like in the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, both the black and the white variants come with a frosted glass back, making it both fingerprint and smudge proof. So that's the Evolve Pro design on the Redmi Note 11 Pro. It comes with a stylish camera module that mirrors the design language of the smartphone itself. It comes with flat edges and rear, and easy to use side-mounted fingerprint sensor, and it comes in 3 stunning colors. Next, we'll talk about the charging. With the Redmi Note 11 Pro, we also want to deliver the fastest charging experience in its segment. So with the Redmi Note 11 Pro, you again get the Pro grade 67-watt turbocharge. That's a significant upgrade from the 33-watt that was available on the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. Now you can charge your smartphone for just 15 minutes and you're good, sorted for the day. So that's the charging story on the Redmi Note 11 Pro. You get the super fast 67-watt turbocharge, which gives you a full day's charge in just 15 minutes. You also get a massive 5000 mAh 2-day battery, and more importantly, you get the 67-watt charger in the box. I'm sure you guys are loving it so far. Now, we understand all of us spend a lot of time on the smartphones every day, and specifically the display. Given that it is so important to the overall smartphone experience, we made sure that we're making absolutely no compromises over here. So the Redmi Note 11 Pro comes with a splendid Super AMOLED display with a 120 Hz pro-grade fluid experience. And we've also taken it up one more level by providing 360 Hz touch sampling rate on this one. So that's what you get on the display on the Redmi Note 11 Pro. You get a stunning 6.67-inch Super AMOLED display, a 120 Hz refresh rate. You don't call a display a Pro display if you don't have 120. And you also get 1200 nits of peak brightness, 360 Hz of touch sampling rate, and you also get a bunch of other features such as the DCI-P3 wide color gamut, Corning Gorilla Glass protecting the front. So that was the display. And now to talk about the Pro grade camera, let me call back on stage the Camera Pro again, Sandeep.
Thank you, Raghu. So we would like to extend the same 108 megapixel Pro grade camera setup onto the Redmi Note 11 Pro itself. And what we have focused on is providing a similar experience end-to-end, not just in terms of hardware, but in terms of software itself. In terms of hardware, we give you the same large sensor, 108 megapixel highest resolution on a smartphone. You have a 118-degree ultra-wide angle camera. You have a macro camera, and you also have a depth camera. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we always create benchmarks within every single Redmi Note series device that we launch. So we decided that the best benchmark or the best comparison that we can do is with our existing device, which is the segment leader, the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. So here is a quick camera comparison between the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max and the Redmi Note 11 Pro. Now, if you look at both of these images side by side, you will see better dynamic range, especially in the sky. You will see that there are more highlights that are kept in control on the Note 11 Pro shots. You will see that there is better detail that has been recovered from the shadows, and the white balance itself is also better on the Redmi Note 11 Pro. Now, this hasn't been easy. This took a lot of analysis, a lot of changes and tweaks to the algorithm to make this possible, considering that we were already starting with what is segment leading. Now, overall, you're still getting the same sort of package. You're still getting the highest resolution on any smartphone currently with 108 megapixels. You get a really, really good ultra-wide angle camera with 118-degree field of view, which we feel is the optimum in terms of giving great coverage as well as ensuring minimal edge distortion and loss of sharpness, for example. Macro camera is wonderful as well, 2 centimeters. That's as close as you can get on any smartphone, and you can get high-definition videos from this as well. You have a wonderful night mode that ensures that the same quality of photos, the great quality of photos that you get even in daylight situations, is also ensured in low light or artificial lighting conditions. We have several different photo and video modes to make your job a whole lot easier when trying to be creative. And overall, all this adds to the pro-grade camera setup on the Redmi Note 11 Pro. With that, I would like to hand it back to Raghu to take us through the rest of the device.
Sandeep. Now the Redmi Note 11 Pro is no slouch when it comes to performance. Let's see what's going under to power the smartphone. So the Redmi Note 11 Pro comes with a powerful octa-core processor, the Helio G96. It is one of the fastest 4G chipsets available currently in the market, making Redmi Note 11 Pro one of the fastest 4G phones in its segment. It also natively supports the incredibly detailed 108 MP camera and the 120 Hz refresh rate. The chipset is also being paired with up to 8 GB of RAM with 3 GB RAM booster to ensure smooth gaming and multitasking. And you also get up to 128 GB UFS 2.2 storage to ensure that you have space for all your content and apps. And thanks to the micro SD card, you can add another 1 terabyte of storage on top of this, which is enough for years worth of music, songs, movies, etc. And to ensure that things are running smoothly under the hood, even when you're gaming for long durations, we've added the liquid cool technology to the Redmi Note 11 Pro. That's a big jump from the graphite sheets that were used on the 10 Pro Max. Liquid cooled is designed for the gamers, and we are sure that the gamers will appreciate this a lot. To summarize, the performance on the Note 11 Pro, you get the best-in-class performance thanks to the powerful Helio G96 processor, supported by the liquid cooled technology, and it gets paired with up to 8 GB of RAM with 3 GB RAM booster as well. And not just that, since this is a Note, just like in the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, you get the same noteworthy experience over here. You get the Z-axis linear motor for better haptics. You get dual stereo speakers, which again is one of the few devices in the segment to have. You get a 3.5 mm headphone jack, you get the IR blaster, and you get splash-proof protection as well. To summarize, that's the Redmi Note 11 Pro for you. Comes with a 67-watt turbocharge with the charger in box, a massive 108 MP quad camera setup, a beautiful 120 Hz Super AMOLED display, an all-new Evolve Pro design, a 5000 mAh 2-day battery, all of this powered by a powerful Helio G96 chipset, and a bunch of other goodness that you normally come to associate with the Redmi Note, including 3.5 mm jack, dual stereo speakers, etc. And of course, both of these devices that we've launched today will come with MIUI 13 out of the box, which delivers the best MIUI experience till now, which means that you get a much more snappier OS, and all of this has been enabled by 60% increase in storage efficiency on the MIUI 13, 40% increase in the background process efficiency, faster processing speed for the apps that you're currently using, and a 10% increase in battery life thanks to Smart Balance. And of course, you also get an all-new sidebar that allows you to quickly access all your favorite apps. So that was about the device. Let me quickly take you through a video summarizing the Redmi Note 11 Pro. Thank you. So that was the Redmi Note 11 Pro for you. We've got one more device, and for that, let me call on stage Vinita to take you through it. Thank you.
Thanks, Raghu. That was an amazing presentation. The best has definitely gotten better. Hello, everyone. I'm Vinita, and I'm thrilled to be standing in front of you to present to you the next device from the house of Redmi. At Redmi, our vision is not just to give you great smartphones, but to touch different aspects of your life through technology. Last year, Redmi diversified its portfolio into some of the key categories, like smart television, smart watches, smart TVs, fitness bands, TWS, all with an aim to democratize technology for everyone. In 2021, when we launched our first ever Redmi smartwatch, we were overwhelmed to see the response from our consumers. And the more and more we studied this profile, the more and more we studied this category, we realized that smartwatch is not just about fitness anymore. It's a lot to do with fashion. It's a lot to do with style. Consumers want something that is an extension to their style and personality. That is also one of the reasons why this category has seen a tremendous growth in past couple of years. So I'm thrilled to announce that our next product is designed to give your style a bold statement. Something that is a smart accessory and blends seamlessly with your personality. Presenting to you the all-new Redmi Watch 2 Lite. The philosophy of this product is pretty simple. It's made for people who love to chase for more in life. Chase for more style, chase for more fitness, chase for more excitement, chase for more wellness and productivity. So without any further ado, let me tell you what makes this watch an absolute stunner. Let's talk about the design. So let's talk about the design. Design is an integral part of fashion. I recently came across this very interesting research that says whatever wear influences what people think about you, how you feel, how you perform, and even your heart rate. Now that's interesting, right? Because I have felt this personally. Every time I'm feeling a little low, I want to dress up my best, and when I go out, I feel very confident. So when I have some important pitches, it's all about power dressing, and when I have some casual days, it's all about the relaxed dressing. Well, the beauty of this device is it blends in perfectly with all your styles. Whatever vibe you want to carry, it is sophisticated, classy, and chic at the same time. It seamlessly fuses with your personality and style, giving you an edge over the others. It barely weighs 35 grams, which makes it one of our lightest smartwatches. It's so light that you barely feel it's there. It also comes with straps, which are super light and butter smooth. They are antibacterial, so that even if you wear them all day long or while you're sleeping, you don't have to worry about any irritation. The idea here is to maximize comfort and minimize friction or any irritation whatsoever. The Redmi Watch 2 Lite comes in 3 trendy colors and 5 gorgeous strap colors, which gives you ample options to play with, to style with, and to experiment with. So whatever occasion you're going for, it will seamlessly fit with your personality. Well, that was about the design. Let's talk about the display. The Redmi Watch 2 Lite comes with 1.55-inch display and a vibrant screen which gives you 450 nits of brightness. It is significantly bigger than our previous Redmi Watch 2 Lite and comes with 25% more real estate when it comes to the screen. What makes this watch vibrant and lively are the 120 watch. What makes this watch really vibrant and lively are the 120 plus watch faces that it comes with. One can do unlimited customization to match your mood, to match your vibe. In addition to that, you can also choose pictures from your gallery to set it as a wallpaper, making it more customized and more personalized. Well, that was about the design and the display. Now let's talk about what makes the Redmi Watch 2 Lite a perfect partner for your fitness and how it helps you chase for more fitness. I'm sure you all will really